Good evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You all right?
Yes, very good.
Very, very good. Been a nice weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The football is back. The football is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Back on. Yeah, it's been nice. Been a bit of a more relaxing one from last weekend, and been nice weekend of football.
And you've been able to sit and enjoy 9 games without the stress of your 11 men causing you stress.
Yeah.
So
that's another
to look forward
24
to
hours.
night.
Yeah,
as we are recording this on Sunday, it's the 92nd minute in the Chelsea versus Man City game.
Yeah.
We'll run through some of the games, have our thoughts on a bit of a larger overview on some.
Yeah,
games,
we spoke to each other, didn't we? I said not yet. Anyway, I think we need to give it a few weeks before we sort of go back to the format of maybe picking individual games and then looking at it a bit more. Because we'll go into it. I think definitely right now it's too early to say this or that and sort of predict or give a total fact or what we think will be a correct opinion. But we'll go through, probably focus on a few more. For example, Arsenal, you were there, and maybe the Ipswich game and whatever else, and just have a good old chat.
Sounds good. And let's start off with the teaser as usual. As you would have seen, James Milner became the only player in Premier League history to play in 23 Premier League seasons, which is nuts in itself.
Yeah.
Having made his debut in the 10th of November 2002. So that's when he made his debut the same season. No, it would have been the season after Ipswich got back in the Prem. But which teammate has he played the most games with?
Bloody hell. That's a good question.
That's actually a really interesting answer as well that I wouldn't have.
Never. No, okay.
But let's start with our review. Obviously, the season kicked off on Friday night at Old Trafford. United won 1-0 at Fulham. And then on Saturday, you had the early game, Ipswich and Liverpool. Should we start with United or move?
I think so. Go for a little chat about United. Obviously, the Friday night game. Yeah, I think everyone was excited. Ourselves were excited. I watched it here with you, and you just football's back. But to be honest, the game wasn't that brilliant. It was very standard opening game, opening fixture for a big home side against a side they should win, and. Yeah, I think it was just a bit of a non-event, really. The
first game of the season are often quite like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
They can be a bit cagey.
Yeah.
Obviously, new players getting acclimatised to their new teams and new leagues. And no one really wants to... Well, no one wants to get hammered anyway, but they're normally more tight, cagey affairs because of that reason. And sometimes there's new managers involved and new tactics and whatnot. And Fulham had a few chances. Obviously, the Pereira one. But it was Zerke in the end. I still can't get over the finish. I don't really know what he's done, but it's a really good finish in the end.
Left his leg out and got a stud in it, didn't he? But he came on and like you said, new signing and probably the best way to introduce yourself, I suppose. And he might go on to be their leading man, but United were very
to win, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean if you can, they sort of deserve that classic. Yeah, they deserve to win, and Fulham were. Yeah, I think they'd be quite happy themselves. It was they'd probably look at that fixture or at its first game of the season, but Man United away, if we play well, I'm pretty happy. If we don't get smashed, I know they won their last season, but that's always a fixture, like when they play all the big sides. But Fulham were okay. I thought I was pretty maybe not disappointed, but I was expecting more from Smith Rowe. But then again, he's obviously not played, so he's been injured all the time and he's been playing with Arsenal. It's so infrequent that he's probably got that at the back of his mind. But I mean. Fulham, I think, look pretty solid as the first game goes. I think that their supporters and they'll be pretty happy going forward.
They have got a very unorthodox front three. Obviously, they've got the striker Muniz, is it?
Yeah,
and then behind them it was Iwobi, Smith Rowe, and Adama.
Adama, he just underlines the fact that he is god awful. I know you have this weird obsession with, but you have to. That's got to be bollocks because he is so bad.
Well. That game showed what he can and cannot do, and the first 5 minutes he skipped past Martinez and was like, wow, no other player can do that and do it how he does it, and then he had the same opportunity 5 minutes later and then gets shoulder barged off. His final ball's always terrible, and
you're better off letting him go because he's going to either kick it off or smash it into the stands or whatever. You're all right. You might be able to run as fast as anyone and as strong as anyone, but it doesn't matter when you actually can't control your your brain is not connected to your body. So it's absolutely awful.
And like you said, I think Fulham will walk away from that head held high. They held their own for the whole game, really. They were always in the game. Yeah. Had a few chances, but you would expect Man United to have that extra bit of quality, which they did on the day. But new signing came out with the goal.
You used to have that thing up when United at home. Whether they got Ten Hag or they have Alex Ferguson, David Moyes, there's just always that weird feeling that they're going to score. It's Man United at home at Old Trafford. They're going to nick it, and they did.
And then moving on to the Saturday afternoon game, I was actually really excited for this one. Ipswich, Liverpool. Obviously, Ipswich's first game in 22 years. Liverpool's first game under, is it Arne Slot or Arne Slot?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's meant to be Arne, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're just going to call him Arne Slot. But yeah, there we go.
Didn't really know what to expect from this one. Obviously, in the first half, Ipswich huffed and puffed, and they were, like you said earlier, they were excited, up for the game. And Liverpool were sort of not taken by surprise, but I think Liverpool were a bit like on the back foot, and they obviously made changes at half time, tactical changes, and then Salah was the deal breaker really in the end. Showed his quality. Yeah, got in behind Leif Davis twice, got the assist for Jota's goal, and then they got the goal for the second one.
But I just think, like you said, you sort of felt it in the game that there was obviously so much excitement. All of Ipswich is buzzing. There's loads of energy and nervous energy, and then that just turns into adrenaline. That goes onto the pitch, and that first half was exactly that. They didn't create loads and they weren't threatening, but they were pressing, they were man for man, they were intense, and they were probably going at half time, which is fantastic. Like, we're doing really well here, like we can definitely cope. And then I imagine Arne Slot, Van Dijk might have had a few words, Robertson probably said a few things, and they, like you said, they made that sub. Konsa came off, didn't he, and Konate went on. And then they just sort of stepped up a bit. They themselves probably moved forward a bit higher up the pitch, a bit more intense, moved the ball quicker, got certain players more involved, Salah, Trent, Alexander-Arnold. And then Ipswich probably like, oh, bloody hell. Because
that pass from Trent to Salah.
Was very nice.
Such a lovely goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, very nice. And yeah, it's that, a lot of people have been saying it, but yeah, that difference in quality that Ipswich haven't been used to for the last 2 years. They've basically won every game for 2 years and dominated the ball and been hunky-dory. Now, yeah. Obviously, Liverpool will be top 4, top 3, who knows, but yeah, that is what it's going to be like for Ipswich 99% of the season. So.
Because you saw in the first half, like you said, they were well up for it. I think Hutchinson had a couple of chances and there's a few breakaways. Did you think Wes Burns was lucky to stay on? I
did, yeah. I know, yeah. Not because that's what you get in the Premier League, but that in any division, any level of football, that's if he gets booked, rightly so for the first one, that the scoop with the arm, I think that's a yellow card. But
been sent off for a second for that handball.
But then they've come out on the refs, the on Sky Sports News and the reports that if the handball doesn't directly stop a goal or have a massive effect or something, there's a particular reason for the not giving him a second yellow. But
yeah, there was probably a bit of leniency on it because imagine you send him off 10, but was it half an hour into
Premier League half hour,
would have been pretty harsh.
Yeah, but I just think Ipswich should be encouraged by that whole game in general. But also, I'm sure McKenna and the players quickly realise what the task is ahead and doesn't get much tougher than Man City next week.
Yeah, so. That's like when JJ was here, we're like, they're 2 games. If you could somehow get 1 point out of it, it's massive. But then all attention is focused on that Fulham game.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. That if they could have nicked a point against Liverpool or somehow get something against City, then that anything against Fulham is a bonus if it's not a loss. So, but yeah, exactly. They want to be winning that Fulham game.
And then obviously I watched the Ipswich game up at the Arsenal. And I was there for the first game of the season at the Emirates yesterday. Routine 2-0 win against Wolves. I thought we started off quite well. Like we mentioned in the Man United game, the game was a little bit slow to start with. Our players get used to it, get used to the tempo again. Had a couple of half chances. Saka had a shot. Havertz had a shot. Ben White had a shot go wide. And then the opening goal was from a lovely cross from Saka, and keepers come out into no man's land. Havertz just nicked in front of him, headed it in. Very nice header. 1-0 up at half time. We had a couple more chances in the first half, and second half we actually were a little bit, not going to say sloppy, but it was just a bit slow. Wolves had control of the ball, and that we wanted to look like we wanted to hit them on the counter attack. Well, they wanted us to overcommit, and that's sort of where the second goal came from, where we were breaking away, quick free kick out to Havertz, then Saka cut inside, smashed it home. keeper maybe could have done a bit better.
I mean,
I sort of went in the middle of the goal at the end.
I know it's first game of the season, I'm started already, but I'm watching on Sky Sports with Gillette Soccer Saturday. It was Merson on the thing, and he's like, "Oh my God, Saka! He's give the goal the eye." He's like, "No, Saka's smashed it, struck it really well, and the goalie hasn't seen it and just sort of messed it all up." I thought, like Saka's whipped it in the right side and the goalie's gone the other way, but no, it's nothing like that, Merson.
Because I thought at first he'd not given him, but he'd gone to shape it in the other corner and then just hit it. The keeper just dived too late.
Yeah, it was a bit of a malfunction, but it was very late, hit very hard, and good strike. Very good strike.
One of the things I was actually really impressed with was that goal went in like the 70th minute, I think, something like that. After that, we were 2-0 up, and we just kept him at arm's length. There was no other chances really.
Yeah, I didn't expect much else, to be honest. There was not a world I thought our Wolves would even threaten getting a result. I thought it'd be 2-0, and it's like exactly like you said. You score at that point. I think later in the season you push on and win 3-4-0, but then obviously at the weekend 2-0, pretty comfortable.
Done,
it's done. Probably rotated a few players and whatever else. But like we watched match today this morning. Gary Lineker said pretty run of the mill result for Arsenal, and that's it. It's nothing. No, don't get too high right now. Don't get too low. It's just it's the first game, and that's what I'm saying about a lot of these games is that Arsenal can't be thinking, "Oh my God, we're amazing," and we'll go into about the Everton game, but Everton can't be thinking, "Oh, we're end of the world here," and you can't be thinking Brighton are going to be incredible. Like you just have to definitely for the moment just sort of stay level and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's a good way to transition into the Everton Brighton game, because that was, like you said, both sets of fans could walk away from that one coming to all sorts of conclusions that's going to happen this season.
Yeah.
And 3-0 on paper and a red card to Everton is a very bad day at the opening day.
Yeah, that was I mean, obviously we've still got tomorrow night, but that's the biggest. That was the biggest shock.
What did you put for a Super 6 on that?
I might even said 2-1 Everton.
I had Everton home win.
Yeah, I think I had a home win Everton. I had 1-1 for a bit, but
the first game they could have the last ever first game.
Yeah, so true. No, what I said about Brighton, and they just obviously just seem to roll from the other season, and they don't look any different.
That front three looked really good. They're the guy from Newcastle that signed.
Yes, Minter.
Yeah. Matoma looked sharp. Welbeck was top.
That guy Wells.
He was top draw. Lovely goal when he got assist for the third one, I think.
Yeah. Did Adingra start, or did he come on?
I think he came on for.
Yeah. And he's another decent little winger they've got.
Although obviously they gave away the penalty in the second half. It was like 60 seconds in, obviously, and then it got overturned. Bit of controversy with whether the ref actually looked at the monitor. There's lots of videos of him going to the monitor. And the monitor just says VAR.
So who knows? But yeah, Everton seemed on the highlights seemed to be doing okay. They had a few chances. I think McNeil flashed one across literally right across the goal line, and they were in the game, and they had like you said, the penalty that was overturned again, and then they conceded and sort of just seemed to fall apart. And the goals they conceded, they were like sort of from attacks and then counters and like silly little errors and whatever else.
That Welbeck one.
Yes, exactly.
Gay got dispossessed and Welbeck just ran, cut in and then slotted away with his left foot.
Yeah, from last week, we didn't lean into this season and the episodes. I never really thought about Everton in either way, like if they're going to have a good season or I just thought they'd be fine, like because of last season. I know they had the point deduction, but again,
that was the only reason they were down there.
Yeah, you take away the points. I think they might even finished above Brighton last season, but maybe they'll be sort of hovering around there again, and because they've done some lack of business really. They sold Arne and haven't really brought anyone in, have they?
Probably like 15th, like a maybe
just
flirt
above
of it around Christmas time, but it shouldn't.
Yeah, they'll get a run of home games, 1-0 wins. And
that's what Dyche will do. Yeah. I think the only reason I say that is because of him.
Yeah.
If they had whoever else in charge, I don't know, but I'm confident he keeps him in there just because I know what he.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. I think they'll figure it out, but and I'm not saying like I said, I don't want to get relegated, but I think that was a bit of a surprise losing 3-0 first home game of the season, bit of a shock.
Ashley Young.
Yeah.
Got turned by Matoma and was like, nah, mate. Just rage quit. He basically just rage quit. I
want next week off.
Just pulled him back. 39-year-old Ashley Young didn't fancy a foot race first game of the season. Red card, and then I think I said 2-0 the red card, and they weren't coming back into that after that.
No, not
but even like their lack of firepower. You've got Calvert-Lewin up there, but when he comes up, Beto was just rubbish. Jack Harrison is like, is he even Premier League level? Like, I know Everton fans do not like him particularly.
I don't know. No,
No, he's just
all right, isn't he?
Average, isn't he? Average player.
But yeah, but then like you said, Brighton, new manager, might be a bit of a buzz because of the new
really
manager.
Good start. And what I'm really looking forward to now is next Saturday, 12:30, Brighton at home to Man United. So that'll be. There's already lots of interesting battles there with like new manager and Ten Hag and a team that sort of looked really good for a team that sort of went over the line and went through the motions. So
and that's exactly that. You like you said, Brighton were probably the team of the week this weekend, but we're not sure.
Brighton have been a bit of a bogey team recently for Man United. So it'll be interesting. On to the second promoted team, Southampton. Fared quite well against Newcastle, actually.
They seemed to do all right, didn't they? And I think that obviously the red card probably helped them, but then Newcastle went 1-0 up sort of almost instantly. But they I don't know. Then their goal is exactly what we were saying last week, and Russell Martin was saying pre-season, and they've conceded straight away, and they lose the game because of a stupid mistake at the back and playing in the wrong areas at the wrong time and wrong decisions. And that if they're going to carry on, which they probably will, that's going to keep happening.
Yeah, you think that stupid error cost them 3 points, really, or cost them 8 points, shall I say? Because they had their run. I think the red card was early on. It was stupid from Cher that now misses 3 games.
Yeah.
As Alan Shearer joke, probably adds another £5 million to Mark Gay's price tag.
Yeah, and the like Brereton Diaz that sort of caused it, but if it's clever or a bit of housery from Diaz, you don't know, but it's like he just bars Shah off on the floor. That's whether silly booking, whether being just trying to get some, aggression into the game, whatever for himself, and then Shah's got up and shoved him and then leant in with his head. It's just stupid. They're saying, oh, it shouldn't have been red card, but yeah, just pathetic. If you're Shah, you're playing for Newcastle, they're thinking of getting to the highest heights of the league and playing European football, and you're allowing that to wind you up to that extent, then you don't deserve anything less.
No, exactly. I think this game was everyone's Super 6, 2-3 niller. That's what they put a few goals on it.
Oh, Newcastle. Sorry,
Well, I think the red card obviously
killed it. I think
killed their momentum. But I think Newcastle will be. I think Southampton actually impressed me in the sense that they didn't roll over. They kept fighting even to the end. They had a couple of headers from the chances. And
Diaz got one cleared off the line as well.
Looked pretty lively, made an impact. And who have they got up next week? At home to Forest. So that is, again, like we said with Richard, these are the games they need to target.
Chance.
Big way to try and get 3 points. First home game of the season. And maybe they can do it. It's 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, definitely.
See what they can do. Moving on to Forest. Talking about Forest, moving on to Forest versus Bournemouth, 1-1, bit of a stalemate, your classic last on match of the day. And
exactly. Last match day, opening games, that game of the season, sorry. And those two teams, obviously Bournemouth losing Solanke. Again, you can't make too much judgments, but to me that just perfect, like very equal sides, 1-1. Obviously at the start of the game, that shocking injury for Danilo. I think he broke his ankle, but the reports, it doesn't seem he's out for too long in terms of everyone's thinking it's much longer. It's apparently operation this weekend and 6 to 8 weeks, they think. But
there we land. Breaking news from Kindle Brown.
But that would have sort of changed the atmosphere and altered people's, if you'd have seen it, whatever. So
I think both teams would have taken that probably before the game. Forest may be a bit disappointed having taken the lead and being the home team, but like we said, Bournemouth next week against Newcastle, and not Forest next week against Southampton. If Forest got 4 points out of the first 2 games, I think they'd take that.
Yeah.
So not a bad result for it. And like you said, with no Solanke and still looking on the hype for a striker, did they get that guy from Porto over the line?
Not yet.
Not in time for the game.
No.
I don't know much about him. It's a £40 million.
Evan Nilsson, I think. Did he not play against you?
Evan Nilsson.
Evan Nilsson, the Brazilian.
Yeah, he did play against us.
Was he Portuguese? Whatever.
He might have actually been the guy that scored that goal.
I think he was their main striker against you, and he was like the one that they were talking up. So I think it's him. But it just stinks of a coming over
But how
and being
mad is that?
rubbish.
I don't know whether they won the league or not, but one of the best teams in
Bournemouth for looking at him,
Champions League player.
Yeah.
And he goes to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like, that shows how much money.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
The, Premier League,
The power the Premier League has, yeah. But then, they had Semenyo, who's playing striker, and scored inside the 6-yard box, whacked it home, and that's all you need.
And moving on to the London Stadium, the podcast title, Duran came back to, I've nearly said he haunted his former club. Well, he signed for them on Instagram Live for a couple of hours.
It was a summer deal, and then
But by the looks of his celebration,
he's
pointing to the ground, tapping the badge, he's here to stay. I actually thought he was always quite a nice little. He's just a bit of a strange player. How do I put it? He's a bit like a Darwin Núñez. He's just a bit nuts.
I don't know. I have no feelings or opinion on him.
I didn't watch the game live. I watched the highlights back, but we obviously spent last night with a few West Ham fans, and I got train back with some West Ham fans, all very disgruntled with what they saw.
Yeah,
wasn't quite the new shining bright lights.
Exactly.
And all the new shiny signings weren't on show, and I think there was a bit of frustration there from the West Ham fans. Yeah,
and I looked at the lineup when I watched it and see it, and Souček's still there. Kufau's, I know Kufau's not the real issue, but Kufau's still playing just a bit strange. I think they played the Argentinian centre midfield, and Kilman was starting. But yeah, like you said, it wasn't that shiny new manager and all the energy they thought they were going to bring, and just strange that majority of the new signings that could fill in these places that are bought to replace these certain players were not playing. Antonio centre forward and Souček in the middle, and the particular lads who were with last night, Deeks and the Warmer brothers, weren't too impressed with Souček.
Well, especially after 4 minutes and you concede such a sloppy goal. Like, he's taken a good header 4 yards out, but to concede that goal, spent all pre-season, and you do that on opening day, it must you won't much tear your hair out as a fan and as a manager. Yeah,
like they said last night, lads, but it was like Onana was the only person in the box, and
tallest bloke on the pitch as well.
Underneath the crossbar, bang, 1-0. Just exactly. You do all the stuff in pre-season. You talk about plans and what we're going to do, how we're going to do this, and undone by a corner in the first half.
Very frustrating it would have been. But they got back into the game with a penalty. Would you guys say a dubious penalty?
No, I thought it was a penalty. It's very,
because match today were very if he doesn't give it, he's not getting given because of this new.
Maybe it's one of those, but also when I first saw it on telly, I thought penalty, and if I was the ref in that situation, it looked so rash. It was, he sort of grazed the ball, but he sort of like scissoring Souček. Because just absolutely no need. Again, it's Souček. He's probably going to boot it off for a goal kick anyway. But
it's Matty Cash.
Just very rash, Matty Cash.
And up stepped Paqueta, his usual. What's the word I want to describe his run up? Peculiar.
And then contact with the eye contact with the goalie.
And then sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Yeah. Martinez is also very good at saving penalties. Sent the wrong way, 1-1 into half time. And I think they would have been pretty happy with that going into half time. They did make a couple of changes, didn't they? I think Fulkirk came on.
Yes, I think quite late on, about 70-ish. Yeah. They brought on a couple, but I think again it's just the fans will be annoyed, and rightly so. But also, him just thinking that maybe the manager Lopetegui's just knows it's first game of the season at home, new club. We're playing Aston Villa, a Champions League side. They finished 4th last season. All right, you want the new players to play, but just need to bed them in, give them minutes every so often, and whatever else. But in saying that, I think the fans, if next week is a similar starting lineup, then they won't be too happy. But then that's what I said last week. I said at West Ham, you don't get time from the fans to settle in and try new things, and they want. You've bought Fulkrug, you've bought Somerville, you've bought these players. They are going to play now, and they will work.
Crystal Palace away next week. Both teams now need a win after today's results, and it was that man Duran got the winner. Nice work goal actually. Cut back cross from the left hand side, and he came steaming in.
It was who played it? It was someone to. One of their subs, Ramsey, cut it back, but it was a good move.
Slotted it through the goalkeeper's legs.
Nice.
And then
finish.
Celebration in front of the joyful away fans. Must have been quite nice in their way in.
He was charging. He was well up for it, but it's classic, isn't it? a player that's linked with your club, and then suddenly first game of season comes off the bench and scores the winner. So yeah, there we go.
It is very West Ham, that.
Yeah.
It's very West Ham.
Well,
Flirting with a striker, another striker they're trying to get. We had a fantastic conversation last night about
some
West
of the
Ham
players have had,
strikers. Like,
brilliant.
It's
Brilliant.
crazy when you actually go back and go through every single player. Like they had some
madness. Well, half of them I don't even remember. They were sort of early 2000s, mid 2000s, and just ridiculous. That's some of the names they were pulling out, but yeah, no, brilliant, very funny.
They had a chance to equalise right at the last minute as well. Man of the moment, Souček. A little bit unfortunate of his miss. He's leaning back, scoops it over the bar.
Yeah.
That could have been a salvageable point then for West Ham.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to be. And that was all she wrote. 2-1 Villa. It's a good result for Aston Villa away from home.
Yeah, they looked alright. I think Villa looked pretty good in the first half anyway. They, in particular, I thought Morgan Rogers looked very good, very powerful running forward. Yeah,
Rogers and Jacob Ramsey, I think, are two very good players to watch out for. Rogers is English, isn't he?
Yeah, both are, and I think Rogers, they got him from Borough, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think Ramsey was injured for a lot last season and started on the bench, but they look pretty solid. Emery, you might hate him, whatever, but he sets his teams up pretty well and can get the job done, and as shown last season. So
we've got them away.
And exactly. Next week, Emery, Arsenal at home. They'll be well up for that.
Tad nervous for that, but we shall see. We shall see what happens. So that was it. That was it for opening day on Saturday. And then you had today's. I'm not going to call it a Super Sunday. It was a Sunday of football. Brentford versus Palace. Obviously last week, yourself and JJ both tipped Brentford to go down, and the breaking news was that there was no Tony in the squad.
Yeah, and it looks
amid reports.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But didn't get the official.
We're not quite there. There we land.
Didn't get the official. There we land.
But the rumours are a Saudi, which for me is strange.
I think that just sums him up as a player and as a person.
Strange, like he's given all. I want to go to a big club, and I think all the top six guys maybe had a look at him from afar, and no one's really fancied him.
No,
whether it's too much money, his age, his attitude, his actual ability.
Yeah,
don't know.
And it could be also like a multitude of things with Brentford. They know in the coming months, days, and whatever weeks that if he's not gone, then January comes and he's gone for free, and they want a certain the lowest point they want, and the Premier League sides possibly might not be going for that. So a Saudi team, then they're going to lap that up. So
it just seems just a peculiar move for him. He doesn't.
It's just it's him. It's him as a person. That sums him up. Like he can say no to this move if it's going to happen. I'm saying it's not like we said. It's no there we land, but I think it just sums him up as a character.
Yeah, so they actually started okay, didn't they? But there was another controversial moment with Eze's free kick that got disallowed. The ref obviously got too trigger happy with his whistle and blew as Eze took a quick free kick. What a hit! What a hit!
Joke of a hit.
But it's just not a foul.
No,
whatever way you look at it, Will Hughes has not made a foul. He's really been instructed. It hasn't affected the goal or anything.
No, it's just obviously the refs beforehand thought about this rule or this little incident could happen, and is sort of almost planting it in his own head, and is like, right, I've given this in my head already, so I'm going to give it. And then I mean, unfortunately for the ref, Eze's hit a wonderful free kick and wrapped it in the top corner off the post, but yeah, there's just no need.
99 times out of 100, he crosses it in, and it goes out
for a throw in or whatever.
Blows, and we don't even think about. We don't even remember it even happened.
Yeah, like in corners when they whip it in and the ref blows for the goal in. It was like, and then by the time it's up the other end anyway. So yeah, it's just maybe a unfortunate moment for the ref, but also absolutely no need to give a free kick. And like I said to you earlier when we were watching it, but if he's done that now, then he's going to have to be doing that all game, and he doesn't do it all game. So
because once he blew, I mean, they couldn't give the goal because it was a bit like it was about 3 years ago, maybe 2 seasons ago. We played United away, and Smith Rowe scored a goal. I don't know if you can remember it. It was from a corner, and De Gea was just on the floor. Came out, Smith Rowe left foot volleyed it like into an empty net, and then once it went in, the ref then blew his whistle. Looked back on the replay, and it was a United player that stood on De Gea's foot, so it wasn't an Arsenal foul.
No.
So they had no choice but to give the goal.
Yeah.
And that's in hindsight. Hindsight's a lovely thing, wonderful thing. The ref should have let it all play out, and then he probably would have given the goal.
Yeah,
because they would have look at it. It wasn't a foul, and that that was a massive moment in the game, because 2 minutes later,
the momentum's changed.
My mate Brian got it was a lovely work move from Brentford.
Yeah,
got through on the right hand side, cut inside. Maybe Gay could have done a bit better. And maybe Dean Henderson
the goalie,
as well. But a nice finish on 1-0 Brentford.
Yeah, it was nice. Like, cut inside, it was very Saka-esque. Curled it in the far corner and 1-0 up.
And there's some stat going around, I haven't got it here, but I saw it earlier, about in the last 2 seasons, only Saka's got more goal involvements in North London derby in London derbies than Brian and Mbembo. So he's going to have to be the one to fill the boots of the missing Ivan Toney.
Yes, definitely.
Moving into the second half, Palace still sort of were in the game a little bit. It was quite a boring second half, really. And I think it was a cross from Mitchell, headed back. Is it Munez, the Colombian right back?
Yes.
And then I can't remember the
was it
Rico Henry? It wasn't Rico Henry, was it? It was the other one.
I don't actually. Yeah.
Ethan Pinnock.
It was an own goal, wasn't it? Yeah, Ethan Pinnock. Goal. Yes.
Just a lazy leg out.
Yeah,
it's gone in. Keeper can do nothing about it. 1-1. Palace are back in the game out of pretty much nothing. But it wasn't level for too long. I remember Edouard came on at half time. This frustrated hell out of me. And Eze's played him for him. There's no need to be offside. A bit like Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, if you just watch the Chelsea game, my God.
Just hold your line. You can see the whole thing. You've got 30 yards between you and 40 yards between you and the goalkeeper. Hold your line. It's a great finish as well. Like, puts it through the goalkeeper's leg, but you're a yard offside, mate. There's no need. There's no need.
You're quick enough. You're strong enough. There's absolutely no need for it at all.
And that would have been 2-1 Palace, but moments later, I think another cross came in. It got deflected around, and Wieser sort of stumbled it home. That's how I could sum up that goal. Didn't really know much about it. Sort of think. It looks like he's kicked it with both feet.
There was a few saves from the goalie, people in the way, and then just sort of prodded it home, didn't he?
And without Elise wasn't on his top form, and Palace just sort of ran out of firepower. Mateta obviously came at half time. I don't think he's fully fit or he's still tired from the Olympics. They only finished last weekend, didn't it? So,
but on I mentioned it earlier, but if we still got time in the window, and if one of Eze or Mark Gay move on, then I think they're in a bit of a sticky situation.
Adam Wharton played okay. He got taken off for Jefferson Lerma, I think.
Yeah.
But he can't do it on his own, and Eze, I don't think Eze can do it on his own either. And if Eze's not there, then not a worry for Palace, but they just don't have that spark that has taken them through the last couple of seasons. Where if they're just a bit frustrated for the fans, as soon as they get a good player,
they move on.
He goes off again.
Because they're not at a level of a West Ham maybe, or maybe Villa at the moment, a bit higher, but a West Ham could hold on to a very good player for a good couple of seasons, whereas a Palace, possibly a Brighton at the moment, and similar Fulham as well. If they have an exceptional player, they normally get snapped up very quickly.
One season and they're gone.
Yeah.
But I think it was quite clear they missed Elise. I know they've bought that. Is Marley Sarr?
It's Marley Sarr from Watford.
Came on for 10 minutes, but not enough time to have any real impact. And like I said, next week at home to West Ham, that could be it's a London derby, could be an interesting game. Both teams obviously lost at the weekend, and they're going to want to start the season okay, aren't they?
Yeah.
Start getting points on the board.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to the penultimate game of the opening weekend. Was the main event as such, Chelsea versus Man City. We had a bit of a joke before the game. Could you predict Chelsea's lineup? And like the game we just talked about, there was some news that Raheem Sterling was not in the squad.
Yes.
And within moments, he had released a statement saying that him and his team look forward to the clarity of understanding why he wasn't in the team.
Yeah.
And
like a little child, and your mum and dad are asking the manager, why is my son not playing in the team this weekend? Just so embarrassing.
And Carragher had actually a really nice response to that. He just said, I like Raheem, I like his team, he's a nice lad, but that statement is pathetic. There's one thing he can do, and do better, play better, train better, and you'll get picked. I know they've got 47 players, but he's an experienced player, won the Premier League numerous times, probably one of their highest earners. He should lead, one of their eldest players as well. He should lead by example and just
just get
play
on with
better.
it.
You get on with it.
Yeah.
Like, he's thrown the toys out of plan on day one. Like
day one, at home to the best team in the league, and it's just embarrassing. But then you saw their team, and like you said, could we name the team? The team didn't actually have any brand new signings. It just had sort of Fofana and Lavia that have been injured. But then the bench was just full of random people, and they bring them all on. It's just, every sub, you're like, bloody hell, who's that? I didn't know they bought him, and I just don't get.
Because they started on the wing. You had Nkunku and Palmer, and then on the bench they brought on Pedro Neto, but also they had Madueke and Mudryk sitting on the bench. So you got Sterling as well. And like, there's just. The problem that they have, there's too many players there now, and it's just a bit silly.
Yeah, and not even good players. They've just got players. They've just got lots of players.
They might turn out to be okay, and like your odds are one transfer is going to be you're going to strike lightning like they did with Cole Palmer, and with 12 days to go, they probably sign another 3 players.
And
it was funny that as we watched it, the subs were coming on. I was like, who's that? Without his name coming up, well, I don't know who that is. Who was the left back that came on? Like, who are you?
Yeah, I didn't know when that happened. Where he's from? Couldn't tell.
Where they signed him from?
And it was him and the striker again, young striker. Like you said, it could be great, but you'd think in a normal side, a normal team trying to actually build something, that they might have bought 2 or 3 like big marquee signings, and maybe 2 or 3 of these youngsters, like the Spanish striker, and then they're going, oh, he's like the one for the future. We're going to try, blah blah. But no, they've just gone bang. We'll have anyone up for sale. We'll have them. It's just it can't be. I don't care, to be honest. Like Chelsea, if you support them, whatever, I just don't. Doesn't make any sense to me.
And Man City made 1 new signing. I think was it? Well,
yeah. So
we could class it as 2 signings actually, because they signed Savio, but Savinho played today. And if you're listening to this, please message us or correct us if we're wrong. Last season, he was Savio. We looked at his shirt. He was Savio last season.
We watched him in the flesh, didn't we? At Madrid,
we watched him.
He was Savio.
At the Bernabeu, Savio. I'm pretty sure the announcement they signed Savio. And today he's Savinho with Savinho on his back. He started off really well, didn't he? But I think he took a knock in the first half. And
he looked very lively, Just City have done the same old City and brought a player in, and he works very, very well.
This is a little bit like... I'd actually relate this game a little bit to the Liverpool Ipswich game, where Chelsea started off like on the front foot, had a couple of chances. City, obviously the superior team, then grew into the game, and it was a lovely goal. Maybe a touch fortunate about it with the ball came across, and Bernardo just quick thinking,
and the fact he's just onside, but
flicked it round to Haaland. He's pushed off. Haaland was trembling.
Yeah, Haaland was quaking in his boots.
Shoved off Shido Bob. Little dink past Robert Sanchez, and 1-0. 1-0 City. Haaland scores for the 3rd consecutive opening day.
Was that his 100th
game? I
think. For
91st
City, 91st goal. Ridiculous.
Which is quite impressive. We're just watching the goal here as it comes. So Savio started on the left, and they swapped with Doku.
Yeah, that's Doku on the ball now.
It was Doku's ball in there, little touch from Bernardo Silva. Out you goes, Cucurella, little lovely dip.
Yeah, it almost looks like Haaland's chances up, but he's so strong, keeps his arms out and just bundles his way through and just gets his foot right under and dinks it past him, doesn't he?
And they had another chance, I think, and then the Chelsea nearly got back into the game when I can't remember who had the shot. But Ederson uncharacteristically...
I think it might have been Cole Palmer. Could
have been. Fumbled it, and Jackson slotted it home. Good finish. But what are you doing, mate? Why are you a yard offside? You've got the whole line to see. You can watch the play unfolding. It's just...
brain dead.
If you're a betting man, you need over 3.5 offsides.
Yeah, he's just a brain dead footballer, and like you said in the game, but they spent all this money, brought in these players, and their 2 strikers are Jackson and the Spanish bloke. Because I don't think I think Bro might be going on loan again or sold or whatever, and the other 3
you've got Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Washington, Fofana and Lukaku. So it's just ridiculous football club.
And then Man City also have lots of strength and depth. Half time brought on Philip Foden for Savio or Savinho, what we're going to call him this season. It didn't really do much, but that just shows the quality. And I think, just thinking off the top of my head now, you had £100 million Jack Grealish didn't even play a minute, did he?
No.
Which
happens a lot.
Quite damning,
Yeah.
I know they had Stones and
Ake as well.
Ake on the bench and Walker were all probably rested from the Euros, so they went deep into the Euros. But you got a player who's been pre-season all summer, not 1 minute.
Must be for him. I mean, he might just shrug it off, but he must be, like, personally, must be frustrated.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wants to play football, but
especially where he came from Villa and he played every single minute and he was the main guy. And now he's just a pawn in a very good setup. But then I think that's what you get when you go to Man City. You know that you're going to win everything, but unless you're one of 4 players, you're going to be heavily rotated.
I think you're just part of the incredible machine. And like you said, unless you're Haaland, De Bruyne, and a couple others, you are just working for Pep, and that is it.
We must mention as well, obviously, no Rodri as well. He was he's still carrying, I think, a hamstring injury from the Euros. And obviously they played 3 times without him last season and lost all 3. So they've maybe got the monkey off the back on that one. And first game of the season.
Drew with Chelsea last year, a win today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And second half was, I'd say between the 45th minute and 65, 70, just nothing happened.
You sort of blinked and you're like, oh, we've got to this point. It was, very, very. I thought maybe second half they'll come out, Chelsea would come out, put a bit of pressure on, and maybe that sort of 10 minute, 15 minute burst. But very, very little was offered.
And before we move on to the second goal, there's just a stat that's just popped up on Sky, which shows, like we mentioned about Erling Haaland, which is absolutely nuts. Since Erling Haaland's debut in the Premier League, so August 2022, Erling Haaland scored 91 goals. The next is Mohamed Salah, 56. Ollie Watkins, 43. And very impressively, Phil Foden on 42.
Yeah.
That is a good... And then it's Marcus Rashford below that on...
38, maybe?
38,
Can't quite see it, but that is mental. If that was Salah on 56, you're like, oh my God, he's incredible. Like, he's doing so well. Haaland he's just an anomaly, isn't he? He's not real. That is crazy.
That is nuts. Chelsea had a couple of chances. I know Nat Jackson had one. It got flicked over the head and he sort of towed it.
You'd hope. You'd have hoped your striker
Palmer
to put
had
that away.
A shot. How many times did Gusto get through that right hand side and just didn't deliver, or he's
passed it back, or booted it off the pitch? Yeah.
That was and like Neto came on and just didn't do it. What I think the issue Chelsea has is that about 60, 70 minutes they brought on 5 new players. Those players never played before, and it just didn't click anyway, did it?
Like it's like that Spanish striker. He's come on. He's young. First, probably. I'm not sure if he's even played a game in pre-season. He's come on trying to run his nuts off, and then he's behind him is Dewsbury Hall's just making his debut in a number 10 position. Then he's got Cole Palmer on the right. Then they've got Neto on the left. It's just all a bit of a mess. And you had Enzo, who played majority of the game further forward. Then he gets dropped deeper. So there's a huge change. Well. I don't understand Enzo.
It's just like we mentioned that he's not. Maybe I'm biased because I don't particularly like Chelsea and I don't watch him week in week out. But I don't see what his special talent is. What's his special power? He's not a passer like a Jorginho. He's not a runner like Conor Gallagher. He doesn't get goals. He's not a tackler.
Yeah, he's not a destroyer, is he? He's not an athlete. He's not dynamic.
And he's also not an all-rounder like a Declan Rice that's good at everything.
Very good at, pretty good. And then the odd thing he's exceptional at. But, he can obviously... He's playing for Chelsea, Argentina. He's technically very brilliant. And yes, of course, he can switch. He's very good at switching the play. But, for me, Caicedo might be playing quite poorly, but I much prefer to see a Caicedo. I much prefer to see, those players in it, but that style, a style of Caicedo, a style of Declan Rice, a style of Jorginho, that sort of centre midfielder instead of what Enzo or what he offers. I'm not sure, but there we go.
Yeah, it was obviously Lavia's first start as well. Maybe the world's most expensive midfield trio ever to lace up a pair of boots in a football pitch. But it was actually their former central midfielder in Mateo Kovacic that rubber stamped the victory. Chelsea got caught playing out from the back. I think with poor Sanchez kick. He's got to do better, I think, on the save. Yeah,
it was a poor save, but Kovacic was very good all game when he burst forward. But it was the goalkeeper be very, very disappointed with that, I imagine.
And 2-0 with 5-6 minutes to go, and then out of the time, game just petered out. Fans left, and I think Chelsea probably expected they were going to lose that game. Yeah. And City move on to Ipswich next week with Chelsea away at Wolves, the Pedro Neto derby.
That is brilliant. Yeah.
So yeah,
Couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you what that result's going to be.
But also, again about Chelsea's side, they could play a totally different 11 next week, and yeah,
and
I
do actually feel a little bit sorry for Enzo Maresca, because it's like you said just then, right? They weren't a disgrace today. They sort of held their own for a bit, but I do think it was more City opening day. We're going to be in third gear, and if we have to, we can push it forward. But we'll hold it there. Chelsea gave as good as they could get. But what do they do next week? Like, they put 5 new signings on. Did any of them really impress? But then, what did you do with Sterling's situation now? But then when you have all them players, someone is going to be pissed off. Someone's going to put a statement out every week.
That could happen every week with Chelsea, and you've got Madueke, who's been there a couple seasons now. He was playing a little bit under Poch. Now is he going to be on the bench for a long time? Will Dewsbury Hall make his way into the side, because he's obviously was with Enzo Maresca last season? So yeah, there's loads of things to think about and obviously figure out. But also, that's a huge problem you have when you suddenly get a massive inflated squad. Is like you've got to try and figure out all these players and their needs and their egos and all the rest of it. So yeah, there could well be another statement next week.
No, I imagine it's going to be a team and a continuing trend we'll talk about for a lot of the season, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sort of wrapped up the Premier League review. It's been a pretty standard opening weekend. I'm looking forward to next weekend.
Yeah, obviously Tottenham tomorrow is the last game, and
so we'll have a quick few words on that. It's been quite a happy hunting ground for you, I think.
Yeah, it has in the past, but there's a weird, Leicester have this weird hate towards us because of that one season. It does, whatever. They just
when they won the league.
Yeah, when they won the league, they for some built up this weird fake rivalry, and now they absolutely hate us, and they're just freaks from Leicester. But they've got a midfield two of Oliver Skipp and Harry Winks. So
that was the news this morning, wasn't it? We woke up to
that was there we land.
Yeah, Oliver Skipp 25 mil, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah, great bit of
business for Spurs.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I think I'm sort of coming around to the idea of Solanke, although he's not played a minute. On paper, yes, we should dominate. It should be a game we'll go and win, but I also have that feeling, that classic opening game, first home game for Leicester, Monday Night Football. It just
the world's watching.
Yeah, it totally changes it. Like, Carragher will be there jumping up and down the KP, just buzzing about Steve Cooper.
Yeah, I forgot about Steve Cooper in charge as well. There's lots of new things.
Yes, Maddison going back there.
Vardy out there, isn't he? I think.
Vardy's injured and Patson Daka is injured, so I'm not sure how they go about their forwards now. I'm not sure if they've signed anyone. Oliver Skipp won't play tomorrow for them. It'll be Winks. Connor Cody's out as well. But yeah, we'll see. I'm quite excited.
Yeah, we shall see. Shall we do a little prediction for next weekend?
Yes, go on. You got the fixtures there. You can pick the game.
Yeah, I got the Premier League fixtures here. Let's go with.
Surely it's got to be the one.
No. It's going to be. We're going to go Brighton, Man United.
Okay, fine.
Brighton, Man United.
Is that the 12:30?
12:30 one.
On the Saturday.
I was thinking about Man City Ipswich, but I'm not going to put my 10-0 in yet.
Yeah, it's silly. Yeah.
Brighton, Man United.
I think Man United win. I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United.
I'm going to reverse that. 2-1 Brighton.
Fair enough.
2-1 Brighton.
Yep.
Right, should we go on to our winner and loser of the week?
It's been a while. It's been a long old time.
It's been a little while, isn't it? And while we're on, I'll go first as my winner. And while we're on the case of Brighton, I've gone for their manager, Fabian Huzerla. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Obviously, just 31 years old. His first game in charge in the Premier League, a 3-0 away win against Everton. I imagine on Friday night, laying in bed, he must have think that would have been his dream, wouldn't it? Would have been his absolute dream. 3-0, 3 great goals, even a fourth one disallowed in the last minute. His attacking play playing well.
Yeah.
Just it couldn't have gone better for him, basically. Yep. And I just put great performance and hats off to the bloke. And Man United up next.
No, I like it. Good one. Well, you'll quite like this one. My winner is David Raya. Purely on the excellent save at 1-0 when Arsenal 1-0 up off the glancing header from the Wolves striker, who just got in front of Saliba. Saliba couldn't affect it, and then I think Duran, because when you watch, well, basically long story, but I've watched a lot of stuff with Ben Foster and all that, and he analyses the goalkeepers a bit differently, and obviously he looks at it more in depth. And even on Match of the Day, they had Joe Hart on talking about it, and obviously everyone's like, oh, you should have saved this or you should have done this. But when you listen to the goalies, they talk about all sorts I've never even heard of. And yeah, it was just a very good save. All his weight is going to the left. He keeps his arm out, all the rest of it. But yeah, just a very good save. So yeah, winner David Araya.
He has got massive hands.
He's got big old meat cleavers.
Massive hands. And I don't know if his gloves are even bigger as well. They're like, like the foam finger. They look like those things. The big white hands, big white gloves he's got. My loser of the week. I'm actually looking at my losers of the week. I've got losers of the week. No, I'm looking at them right now across the room on the TV. Mika Richards and Daniel Sturridge. For those who have watched the Super Sunday this afternoon, you would have seen two questionable outfits. Starting with Mika, he's wearing a Prada shirt, a short sleeve shirt. Just lots going on. It's not a bad colour, but there's just creases everywhere. It's all big by his shoulders.
Materials that silk as well. It's like a bit shiny.
Odd and. There's no need for it. There's no need for it, Mika.
And for such a big bloke, he's like scrunched up in it. Yeah.
Especially when he's sitting in a small studio, just looked very, very off-putting. And then his mate Daniel Sturridge is wearing a half and half. I don't know what to call it. It's like a denim jacket, but not denim. Buttoned up with half and half trousers.
He looks like he's.
The jacket I could give or take on its own, but matched with the half and half trousers should only be one colour.
It looks like he's. Yeah, I don't know. He's a paint and decorator on a Friday and then caddy in the Masters on a Saturday. So
ridiculous. And both of them outfits together probably cost more than all my belongings inside this flat.
Yeah, shocking outfits, but
so
I like it.
Awful clubber from Mika and D-Studge.
D-Studge. Very nice. Well, my loser of the week, Ben White. No, I'm joking. That's a joke. It's a joke. Calm down. No, my loser of the week is Luton's goalkeeper, Tom Kaminski. He was sent off for a second yellow card over the weekend against Portsmouth. He received a yellow card early on for time wasting, and then on the half-hour mark, he came charging out after a hopeful long ball from Portsmouth, which was there was no real danger in the ball. It was defenders back. It was very bizarre. And he's obviously made that decision to come charging out. He's absolutely clattered one bloke, and then he's thought, right, I'm just going to carry on. And he's charged even further and then cleaned out the second player, and rightfully so. I mean, it could have been a straight red anyway. I'm not sure if it was, but yeah, sent off.
Yeah, I suppose it wasn't actually a straight red.
Yeah, when I saw the clip, I assumed it was straight red. The way he'd done it was just awful. It was just like reckless. It was awful. It was like the monk off Mean Machine. But
it would have been a yellow. Go for the first one and then go for the second one. What do you know what his first yellow was for?
Time wasting. In time, but yeah, like I said, that incident happened on half hour, so he's time wasted from minute 0 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know what he's up to. Just shocker.
No, very, very valid loser of the week. Right, to wrap up, revert back to the beginning. James Milner became the only player in Premier League history to play in 23 consecutive seasons, having made his debut on the 10th of November 2002. But which teammate has he played the most games with?
So he's at Leeds, Newcastle for a fair time.
With Villa
as well for
City,
Liverpool. City and Liverpool. I feel like he was at all of them for like a decent
England
whack
as well.
Oh, does that count? Is that towards the count?
I think so. Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I think so.
Okay. First thought, initial was Ashley Young. No. Close? Like, as in, is he up there in the list?
He's not in my list. I've
wow.
3. I've got the top 7.
Oh, wow. That surprised me. Villa, and if England counted, okay. Because I was going to say Barry, but then that...
Barry was 8th.
Ooh, okay. I'm bloody... Okay, right.
Because I actually didn't realise, I looked on a bit, but
this person.
I won't spoil it yet.
Right. So not Gareth Bale, that's mental. Because did they not play with each other at Villa, City, maybe?
Yeah.
And England, wow, okay. Alright.
He'd if you look at the time he spent at each club, you get the
Helpful.
answer. Yeah.
He must have spent a long time at Villa. I can't get Ashley out of my head. Well, Agbonlahor?
No, you're way off.
Okay.
It's not
Villa.
Ashley, it's not
Okay,
Villa.
that's not the side. Okay. Jordan Henderson?
Number 3.
Okay, I did think it could be. I thought Henderson early on, but
210.
wow.
games.
Okay. Mohamed Salah.
Number 4.
Oh, going the other way.
210 games as well.
Bastard, going the other way. Right.
So you know what ballpark.
That it's Liverpool, must be. Hopefully.
Yeah. Although number 2 isn't, weirdly. To throw you off the hint.
Okay. All right. I thought Henderson. I was hoping Henderson would be much higher. I know he's very well anyway, but anyway. Okay. Trying to rack my brains here.
Because he was at Liverpool, I think, 7-8 years. He was there. He's a lot longer than any other club he was at.
Yeah.
He only did 4 years at City, I think, or 5 years at City.
Right. Okay. Last guess, and I need a hint. I'm gonna go. Van Dijk?
No.
Nowhere near it. That's a rubbish guess.
The clue I get, think of a player, obviously, in that Liverpool era team that had been there a long time as well.
Not Gerrard.
No, but in that Liverpool, the Salah team, that team.
Right.
Because obviously, who signed Milner? It wasn't.
Was it Hodgson? Was it maybe?
Was it Klopp that signed him?
7. Oh, it must. Yeah, Klopp.
Yeah, it must have
No,
been Klopp,
sorry. Coutinho.
Close-ish.
Was he on? Is he lower than Salah in that
No, he's on the same
area? Oh, this is hard.
He played 46 more times with this player than Jordan Henderson and Salah.
Wow. It's not Andy Robertson, is it?
Andy Robertson is number 5.
Oh, what?
So you've got 3, 4, and 5.
For God's sake. Because those two have like a weird relationship where they. Mate, I don't know. I need more of a hint. I'm never getting this.
I don't really want to give you that hint.
Yeah, don't give me a nationality. That's a bit obvious. Or is that not?
Just think of that team. You've got the left back. You've said Van Dijk. You said Salah. You said Henderson.
Wijnaldum?
No.
Am I like going right around the houses?
Well, you knocked off another one now.
It's not Trent. It can't be Trent.
Trent's number 7.
It can't be Trent.
Trent's number 7.
Oh, I'm hopeless.
So you got 5 of the 7 now.
It can't be Mane. There's no way.
Mane's number 6.
It's not Coutinho.
You can't have many more players left in this team.
I know. It can't be Origi. Like it can't be. Oh my God.
Name out the team.
That's what I've been through. I'm trying. I can't. Oh, mate. Can I have a general position? Like midfield, attack, defense? Attack. Firmino. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Got there in the end.
Roberto Firmino, 256
Wow.
games. Number 2 was It's Decent. Every day I'm shuffled.
Joe Hart, yeah.
Joe Hart. 223. Yeah, Roberto Firmino. 256.
When I was going for that, because he was obviously not in my mind, but when I think of their front 3, it's Mane, Salah, and I suppose it's Firmino, but I don't know, just didn't think of it. Sorry. Put you out of your misery.
Yeah, Roberto Firmino. Right, well done.
Yeah, nice.
Right, and that closes. Look, nearly bang on 1 hour.
Yeah.
We've done it well. We haven't done it for a little while, and
yeah, nice.
a nice little wrap up. So yeah, we'll be back next week with our usual. It'll be more consistent now, and now the summer's gone, we'll be back either on Sunday evenings or Monday nights, or just depending on what we're doing and the fixtures and whatnot.
Yeah. And we'll do the team of the weeks after all the fixtures are done this year. So normally we'd talk about them now, but I think we'll wait till all the fixtures are done, put them through, and then put a graphic out. And we're going to get the graphics for our predictions of top 4 winners and relegations and shouts and flops and all that. Yeah. So Josh will be a busy boy.
Yeah, no, perfect. And again, thank you all for listening as normal, and we'll see you next week. Stay loyal.
Stay loyal.